Hi, Lauren. I am really happy with this first pass at the 3D model, and I'm excited to show off what I've got for you so far. So just to orient ourselves, here is the PDF of the floor plan, which you should be pretty used to. I know we had some comments to go through still, such as exploring the length of this kitchen wall here, as well as I think, swapping the doors for swinging doors and perhaps lengthening the vanity here. But I felt like we were far enough along with the floor plan that it made sense to jump into the 3D model. So I'll go ahead and minimize this PDF now. And now we're seeing the very rough first pass mock-up of the 3D model. So what we're seeing here is that same floor plan view, but you can see that we've got it in SketchUp. It's 3D now. Now, while I have mocked up some of the interior walls, this is by no means meant to be an interior model. We're not going to be looking inside these spaces now, though. Just to clarify for you, I have been doing that. I've been making sure the geometries are going to work the way I expect. But in terms of, finishing those out and showing the windows and doors and all that, it's a bit cumbersome. So it's really meant more of an exterior model. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and turn the roof on in that same view. And what you'll see is some pretty steeply sloping roofs, but mixed with a couple other interesting roof styles. So let's take a glance at something that's a bit more of an angle. So here now we're standing at the front towards the street, and we're seeing glimpses of these steeply pitched roofs with some elements that have some curved roofs to it as well. We'll come back to these, but I just want to quickly do a quick fly around. That was a bit too fast. Let's try that again. So to go from the front to the back, here at the back, we're seeing just this simple shed roof that slopes towards the south, which gives you an incredible roof surface to completely cover with solar panels if you want. Certainly, you can fit even more than what I'm showing here now, but I feel like this is probably a reasonably sized array given how much energy you might be using, but it can always expand. If you want to get an electric car charger going, we can certainly add more. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a glimpse back towards the front. So now we're standing at the front looking towards the entrance. And this look of the home is meant to be very influenced by the images that you had put together for me in your Pinterest boards. I'm trying to make the house look cutesy, per your direction. So we've got these really steeply sloping roofs, but we're also incorporating some sloped roof forms. So here at the garage, instead of just doing a straight gable, this gently slopes down and then meets this barrel vaulted element that really is just at the entry roof. But we've got round windows. We've even got a sort of semicircle window, um, all based on your feedback and your input. And I think it looks really charming. You'll see that we've got some pretty consistent materials here. So what most of the house is going to be a smooth stucco painted white. Most of the trim will be painted black. I would propose doing a dark colored roof for you, whether that's an asphalt shingle roof as I'm showing here now, or we do a standing seam roof. That's something that we can explore a bit later. Either way, I think aesthetically, it'll work right for the view. Um, and then we've got three instances where we've got this gable feature here. And this happens here at the guest bedroom, at the kitchen gable, and at the master bedroom gable in the courtyard, where the gable has a shingle finish. Instead of just stucco, we've got shingles here, just to add a little bit more texture and interest to the elevation. And both at the guest room and at the kitchen, we've got a skirt of stone down below just to add a little bit more layered effect. And then here at the entry, I propose to have this be finished with some sort of stained grade wood siding. If that's a little too expensive or high end of a material, or you're not keen on the maintenance for that, we can look at doing that out of a paint grade fiber cement lap siding instead. But you'll see this being used here at the entry feature and in the courtyard. And I think it just adds a little bit of added warmth and texture if we can go with a stain grade real wood. But I'm really, really happy with this. We've got another one of these cutesy windows at the garage gable. I'm unsure of whether or not this one is absolutely necessary. Um, I think it does add something to the front elevation, but certainly I don't think the garage needs to have a window into its attic. I'm also not sure if you want to be storing a lot of stuff up above your garage attic, in which case maybe we don't want to have this be a window here, or if there is a window here, maybe it just wants to be frosted so that we're not seeing any sort of boxes up in the attic. Now, again, this is a very rough model in terms of what's happening on the interior. You wouldn't actually see this other roof plane continuing in there. This is just a facsimile of what the interior model will be to come. But you can see why we want this continuous roof plane. This is going to be really easy for your builder to build out, for the framers to build out. We've got this continuous roof ridge running along here that's determined based on the size of this master bedroom wing. And so then having that come all the way out to this point here and then gently swoop down to the entry is, I think, a really nice feature. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. So now let's go from the front to the left side. Now, as we come towards the left, we'll see here we've got windows for the guest bathroom, and then windows for the gym space, the office space, that bathroom adjacent to the office that serves the great room as well, and then the small window above the kitchen counter at the opposite end of the main kitchen windows. If we orbit here towards the back, here we see again from the back elevation at this gable feature, this is very much like the guest bedroom at the front. So we've got this gray painted shingle siding, 3 windows, the circle window above, and then the stone skirt down below. It doesn't continue all the way back. I think perhaps this would be a good place to put another side fence and have this just be a side yard utility area for storage or storage sheds or gardening supplies. I know you want to have an herb garden right here. So if we did put a fence right here, I think that would be a great reason to stop the material. But right now, this is that same 2.5 feet return that we have at the guest bedroom beds pop out. So the same 2.5 feet here is repeated here at the kitchen. So hopefully that creates a bit of a tie-in. And then what we're seeing here at the back too is this south-facing porch that has a deep overhang coming back, which is going to protect the great room from any intense summer sun coming in, but will let a lot of that winter and spring sun come in to the great room. So I'm pretty happy with this. And of course, I love this nice single slope roof. This is going to be really easy to build, to roof, to waterproof, and then to also just give you buku space for solar panels now and solar panel expansion in the future. You were asking about whether or not we want to have vaulted ceilings that take off from 8 feet or flat ceilings at 9 feet. I'm all about doing the vaulted ceilings. I think with a roof that is pitched this dramatically, it'll be so awesome to have this take off from 8 feet, just to have nice low windows. All of these doors and windows are set to a 6 foot 8 inch tall header height, which is the standard window height that you can get, or sorry, the standard door heights. Doors typically come in 6 foot 8 inches tall or 8 feet tall. And so by going with 8 foot tall walls, where the vault takes off, all of these windows are set at a much more human scaled 6 foot 8 inches. It's the way that used to be done, I think up until the 90s when everyone started doing everything at 9 foot tall and 8 foot tall doors. And those are fine, but it's not quite as human scaled, in my opinion. I'm really excited. If you like this, I'm really excited about finishing out the rest of the interior of the kitchen, seeing the vaulted space, seeing whether or not we want to express some sort of truss roof system in here, express that structure. There's a lot of exploration that we could do there, but I think the first and the most important thing is to get your overall feedback on the general idea here. So we've got, you can kind of get a glimpse of what's happening on the inside. Again, this is just supposed to be a hint and a tease. It's really not fully fleshed out. But though we have a relatively low 8 foot tall wall here, it definitely takes off and gives us a lot of added height here in the courtyard. But we'll come to that. Let's first take a look again at the back elevation here. As we continue around, here now we're seeing what I would propose to be sort of a master suite oasis. Per your direction, there's no windows on this back wall of the great room where the TV will be and some buku bookshelves, which I think is just perfect. It's a great spot to have the electrical meter and the solar panel batteries right here on this wall, right adjacent to where your electrical pole is. There's really no better place to put this. So I'm kind of happy with the fact that we've got this solid wall here. There's no windows into this space except for the master suite sliding glass doors. So I'm kind of curious to see what kind of features you might want to put in here. First thing that comes to mind would be something like a hot tub, but I don't know if that really suits your taste or your style. Whatever you want to come up with, I'm sure the landscape architects I've introduced you to will be able to come up with a way of screening that, like I'm showing with these bottle brush plants right now, so that guests in the backyard space don't have a direct line of sight to what's happening there. Though there'll be a path around to get into this master oasis. Um, but that's just one idea, though. I mean, of course, you could eliminate all this and have this be open to the backyard, because maybe when you're in your master suite, you want to see and be more connected to the backyard space. So, take this with a grain of salt. This is just one idea, but one that I'm pretty excited about. Let's see here. So let's see. Now let's go in, take a look to the right. So now what we're seeing are the two windows that flank the master bed wall, and then the window into the master shower, and then the window into the laundry area, and the door into the garage. Now, if we come up here and look at a bird's eye view of the courtyard, we can finally start to see a sense for just how tall the wall gets back here. I think this wall is about 14 feet tall. So the great room slopes from 8 up to 14 approximately. I should double check that before I go too much farther there. But I think this courtyard's got a lot going on. There's this pergola area, which will add a lot of shade for the pathway between the sliding glass door off the entry hall and the sliding glass door that's connected to the dining room and the kitchen area. But then there is just a lot of seating potential underneath this pergola. I'm showing a lot of string lights right now under the pergola, but then you can see this great sequence of windows that is going to really brighten up this hallway and allow for a lot of light to come into these high clear story windows above the doors, these glassy doors that lead into the gym and lead into the office. I'm really excited about that. If we take a look at the back wall of the great room, you can see that I've got right now more of these sliding glass doors. I feel like I'm probably overdoing it with the sliding glass doors, but I really like what it does for the great room. It can completely open up the space. You can get an amazing connection from the courtyard to the very spacious backyard by opening up all these sliding glass doors. But, if we had to cut down on these sliding glass doors, I would want to keep one here at the dining table, adjacent again at the dining table, turn around back here. This would be the one that leads into the foyer where your reading nook would be. So, we could certainly turn these sliding glass doors into more fixed picture windows, raise the sill up, be able to sit against the glass with our back to the glass in the courtyard if the sill was raised up high. But I'm really kind of excited about the idea of just going all out with these sliding glass doors on this wall. I love the rhythm of this back wall with the sliding glass doors below, fixed windows up high. It's all facing north, so I'm not too worried about too much solar heat coming through here. The sun's only going to hit this glass in the the extremely early morning or late afternoon in the summer months. But there is potential that all this glass could get kind of cold facing north. But I mean, just the view of the skies that you get through all this glass is really, really phenomenal. Again, can't stress it enough. This is a very rough interior model, but this interior height here at this back wall, I was saying was 14. It's 14 foot 2 inches, so I was just about right. We'll call it 14 feet. Let's see here. So now what we're doing is we're standing at the back of the pergola in the looking at the master suite. And like I said, the kitchen, the guest bedroom, and the master suite all have these peaked gable roofs with the shingle siding as a change in material from the stucco. We've got the biparting sliding glass doors here with another circle window in your vaulted bedroom. I'm so happy with how this space is going to be. I mean, so much light coming in here. Now, I know with migraines, there might be some concern about how we would shade a window up high like this. I'm sure we can come up with something, whether it just be some bottom up shade um, to be able to turn this black out this window here with a motorized shade, in addition to some, uh, side pull draperies for these large sliding glass windows. But on days when you aren't having a migraine, the amount of light that we're going to get coming in through this expansive glass, a high window, more sliding glass doors back here, plus windows above the bed wall. I'm stoked with this. I can't believe how light and glassy this would be. I mean, only missing, light coming in from the fourth wall here, but I'm not concerned about that. I think this is quite adequate in terms of natural light. And then here where we're looking at the back wall of the closet and into the mudroom. I'm not showing any windows. I think it'd be nice to have a corner in this courtyard that is not glassy, that could be used for planters and more plants, some vertical plant elements, in addition to some built-in bench seating, which I haven't mocked up. I didn't model that. Because I'd like to see what the landscape architect might want to do with this courtyard space as well, get their input here. But having a seating zone here, looking through this window into that customized reading nook element in here at the foyer, I'm really excited about this. And I think it would be an opportunity where we're not going to be punching in windows to bring in that accent material, this stained grade wood siding again. And then we do have a skylight right here that's going to bring in natural light into the walk-in closet. Because though it is a landlocked room, or it's not a landlocked room, we're avoiding punching a window into the closet to not interfere with your cabinetry space. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm really, really happy with this. It's a very unique home. It's a very unique style. But I think I'd be very surprised to hear that this wasn't exciting to you. But of course, I want to hear that directly from you. So let's schedule a meeting. I think probably after the new year. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear your thoughts, Lauren. Thank you so much.